Hello, we are at the Bronx Hero Comic Convention, and I am talking to...
Paris Cullins, famed comic book artist, or middle famed comic book artist for 30 years. I worked for Marvel, DC, Cartoon Network, Nintendo, a little bit of everybody at some given time.
And what you doing now?
I'm doing something for myself, but the greatest adventure of all, self-publishing. The scariest adventure of all, self-publishing. So what I'm doing now is the first one thing for myself is called Marcus Arena, right? So Marcus Arena, think of it as Spartacus in space, basically. And so it's a story about clones, it's a story about disenfranchising, because they're all living in satellites from one planet to the next. They left Earth, and they're living in a giant experiment, because it's a giant social experiment. The scientists kind of rule everything because everything's being run by science, So, everything's approved of or not approved of, but watched. And so since everything's being watched, what does that mean? And since they've conquered the human genome and are making all kinds of things, what does human rights mean anymore? And that's what the story's about, okay? Along with a whole lot of violence, right?
I'm hearing some subtext here.
No, there's always subtext. That's the great thing about comic books. They're full of subtext. That keeps things alive.
Yeah.
These are like old comic books. Like I said, I used to draw this thing called the Blue Beetle. Okay. That's kind of like handed over from Steve Ditko, Chalk Comics, adopted by DC or bought by DC, and now DC owns Charlton characters, and it's Captain Atom, Blue Beetle, and other characters like that. This is a sketchbook of mine. This is the work from Gary had done writing, Gary Cohn, the writer, who wrote The Blue Devil. The Blue Devil's right here. This is this stuff. This is my old stuff, Blue Devil, Blue Beetle. I don't know how I got caught up in so much blue stuff.
You had a whole blue period.
I had a blue period. I had a whole blue period. Like skipping it. Believe it or not, that's like a sketch. That was a tattoo. These were commissioned works or stuff like that, and there's that thing, there's that poster. This is a thing called Monster Jenkins. I don't know if you can see it because it's pencil work. Monster Jenkins is kind of like a negotiator for H.P. Lovecraft kind of monsters and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes the monster isn't the one that's wrong.
Right.
Most Faustian stories is some guy making a deal with the devil, or making a deal with a demon, or making a deal with some otherworldly creature to hand over his soul to get something done, and then the world's turned upside down. This guy comes in and goes, well, no, you made the deal. That doesn't give you the right to turn the world upside down for everybody else. So how about if I fix the deal, and then you get what you want, and the demon, he's going to get kind of what he wants, but we didn't allow you to come through this door because everybody didn't agree with that.
I mean,
yeah, so usually he wants
something for nothing.
You can't get something for nothing, exactly. And these guys who go around making Faustian deals, what does that mean? I don't know. Faustian deals. And so this is the new character that Gary and I are working on. Is called the New Devil, because we created a character for DC called the Blue Devil, and this is the New Devil. Excellent. It's young, it's hip, it's sexy, and it's all based on kind of video game thing. He gets covered with this kind of holographic field that makes him look like a devil. But the whole world is covered with this field, or rather the world he lives in at the moment. So it's an interactive game that everybody's in that's stuck in New York is stuck in the game. So anybody watching it from TV, it all looks like a video game, but it's not. That kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right, so where can people find out more about your work?
Oh, you can find out more about my work on Facebook. You can catalog and look at the DC catalogs. Like I said, I've done a ton of work for them. Okay. You can look me up, and I worked for Clive Barker. I did all these Clive Barker, if you know who Clive Barker is. Hellraiser. I did a bunch of Hellraiser, and for the Razor line. I did a thing called
for Hellraiser?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, I did design work. I did comic books. I did a whole bunch of stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I did stuff for his comic book line called The Hyperkind. It was went on for about a year and a half or something like that.
But your self-published work, where can people
But my
find?
Self-published book, like I said, that's Marcus Arena and Monster Jenkins and New Devil. That'll be in a thing called Monster Massacre and probably Heavy Metal. If you know Heavy Metal, it'll be in Heavy Metal. That's done by Dave Elliott. He's the editor for the book, part-time editor for the Heavy Metal and Monster Massacre, and a thing called A+ and Tundra Books. Those are British comics. Oh yeah, I've done lots of books for British comics too.
Viewers across the pond.
That's right. Yes. Axle Press Button and Steel. What is it called? Stainless Steel Rat. I did some stuff for that. Yeah, and like I said, toys, some Batman designs, a whole bunch of stuff. It just went on. It went on.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. No, it's been a pleasure. Bye.